And we are halfway through the week here at Shenandoah University in beautiful Winchester, Virginia, and the competition is still lively. The arena filled with a bunch of participants doing their own esports stuff all around, but we are going to be focusing on a very particular series here on this broadcast. It is Tekken 8 time for CFGC, and I could not be more excited. I am just ready to rock and roll. My name is Kevin Clayton. I'm joined by Gavin Eldridge, and I gotta say, it's been a little bit since we've gotten the chance to talk over some Tekken 8.
I mean, I think it's been probably 4 weeks since we talked about Tekken. You know, a fun thing about me is I don't really know practically anything about this game. I know the general idea of fighting games and whatnot. So I have a very nice list of things that I had to go through and write down. Kind of like my study guide of basically things to know because it's been so long since we casted.
Yeah, no, I was very happy to walk into the broadcast room and see those notes and just be like, oh yeah, you're getting back into it. Yeah. That's good. That's good. Well, we have a very exciting matchup to talk about here today, but before we get into all of those intricate shenanigans, first things first, we got to take a look at the schedule so far. It's been a pretty successful week for Shenandoah University. I believe it is 2-1 for Street Fighter. The scores are flipped. That's okay.
Well, you would know because you were the one that played. So.
Right. But I mean, even so, 2-0 for Super Smash Brothers. That performance yesterday was insanity. Beautiful play all around. We get to watch a little bit more fighting game stuff today with Tekken 8, and going into Thursday, we'll have a little bit of Rocket League action to close out the week before we continue the playoff sort of series.
Yeah, and something to note about that is that on Friday there was originally supposed to be an Overwatch NECC playoff game as well, but that got rescheduled to next week, so the next week we're going to have a few more games. You know, if Overwatch wins that first game, then they play again that Friday, so then, you know, kind of double up there.
Oh, that makes sense. I mean, we did have a pretty busy week last week, so having things cool off a little bit, I can't complain about one reschedule in a sea of just like taking things a little bit calmer now. So that's great stuff. Absolutely. Overall. But We are here to talk about Tekken. We're here to talk about Shenandoah's very own player, Mossman, who has been on a bit of a tear and has kind of been trying to figure out more of what he wants out of Tekken 8, whether it is more of this like Nina character-based game plan or something else closer to that Clive sort of play style. Still figuring out, still feeling the pressure both sides. There's a new character that plays like Nina releasing too. I don't know. And Moss has options right now.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't blame Moss for wanting to play Nina. You know, the character is very fast. She has a lot of launches and stuff, so she's very fun and very combo heavy. Like, especially when you watch her, especially if it's a decent Nina player, like, it's very chaotic, it's very cool and flashy, and I don't blame Moss at all for wanting to play that.
Yeah, well, with all that being said, I do believe that we are going to have an interview here in just a second or two, so I think we can hear from Mossman a bit more about his thoughts on where Tekken 8 is right now, where it's going, and some of the matchups here today. So guys, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin and Gavin. I am joined by Mossman, our Tekken player here at Shenandoah. First things first, Moss, how are you feeling tonight?
Feeling fantastic. Got some hot dogs before this. You know, needed some food in my system, getting ready to throw hands.
Nice, yeah, hot dogs, the double hot dog meal, right? Oh, yeah, good stuff for sure. So for diving into kind of what this match looks like, right? You have a Dragunov, a Brian, and a Lydia possibly here tonight. What do those matchups look like for Nina?
Well, Dragunov matchup isn't pretty for anybody. He's a very cheesy character, does a lot of really oppressive, always up in your face, a lot of cheesy grabs. As for Brian, I just got to look out for a lot of. He's really good at carrying characters to walls, so like a lot of his combos, like, and that's exactly where he wants you to be. He'll get you over there, and then he'll just keep poking and prodding at you until you're dead and you're on the wall. As for Lydia, that's a matchup I'm worried about in terms of just knowledge. You don't see a lot of Lydias in CFGC, and I just don't come across a lot of them in ranked either. So she's a stance character, has a lot of defensive options, and she's just weird. She's just weird.
No, yeah, fair. Some characters do just have like gimmicks and are weird to play against. Now, on a more personal level, right, what do you feel about the difference from the beginning of the season to now with your play style and how you've grown?
I feel like this time around I did a lot worse in pools than I did last semester, but I think I also played like much better players in pools leading up to regular season this semester. And so I think while the record was worse this time around coming into the regular season, I kept every match a lot more close towards those top-end players than I did last time around. So I feel like I'm right now 3-3 in the regular season. I feel like while the record may not show it, I've grown as a player. My creativity has become a little bit better over time. I feel like I know what to do in certain situations a little bit better. Just feeling better all around.
No, that's good to feel better all around. Thank you, Moss, for the interview. Good luck with your matches here tonight. Guys, back to you.
Hey, great stuff all around. It does seem like Moss is just feeling a lot better in general about like the general fighting game scene. He was a Call of Duty player for Shenandoah for a while, so now swapping the guns for fists is a pretty big switch up.
Yeah.
But he's been doing great with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've seen so much development from him, you know, in the first semester. Like, he was kind of getting into the fighting game community, and, like, as we see here with the stats, you know, he was kind of growing into it. As he was playing, he was like, oh, I learned this. But now he's kind of developing his own play style. He already has things, like, predetermined in his mind.
Yeah, ranked game record 38-95. It's a little low, but even so, you could see Moss improve just off of that season alone, and we are starting to see it on this semester now. Just small steps to really bring the gameplay at that higher level, and these tough opponents are playing some characters that can really just match up, knowledge check you. Even so, we do see a little bit, you know, getting a higher record so far this season with that 47 ranking. I mean, it's definitely doable for Mossman to really find his footing in these three matches now that we are in playoffs and make a splash against some of these opponents.
Right, yeah, and he talked a lot about knowledge, and especially in this game, I believe there are 32 or maybe even more characters than that in this game, and every single character has like 300 plus moves. That's a lot of information to take in, so just the more time that you play in this game, you will naturally just get better. Obviously with every game that's true, but even here, like, your knowledge of what the opponent can potentially do or what you can do, what your options are, what your frame data is, everything like that. You gain so much by just consistently playing the game.
Yeah, and he brought up a really good point, a really interesting point about the DLC character, the Lydia in particular. Tekken had a very weird start to its DLC. Eddie and Lydia, the two first characters that were released, have really low play rates for being DLC characters. Now, this could just be my background in Smash Bros., but a lot of the DLC characters are really popular, not only because they tend to be a little bit stronger, but just by nature of their characters that people wanted. I'm surprised to see how low of a player base these two characters have, and how that could potentially impact Moss's matchup when dealing with a stray Lydia every now and again.
Right, and when we look at Clive, also a DLC character, he has a lot more play rate compared to the other two. And there is really no reason for it, I don't think. I mean, I'm not too in line with the Smash or with the Tekken community or even like any fighting game in general. But DLC characters, at least across the board, are usually unanimously played more. You know, obviously, they were wanted enough where the developer was like, all right, let's put them in, let's add them later on, or whatever it is. But yeah, information is a huge thing. And with Lydia specifically, you know, she is a DLC character. She's very stance-based. She has 4 different stances that she can go into, which just adds so much move variety out there. And then for Moss, he has to be able to analyze like which stance she's in and what options she has going out of it. But it's going to be kind of a heavy task for him.
Yeah, speaking of heavy tasks, one of the other characters mentioned on the interview was that Dragunov. That character has been held on a pedestal since release, and understandably so. It's a very frustrating play style, having someone just in your face all the time, trying to just bait options out of you. But I do think Moss has been trying to get a lot better at playing it patient. So hopefully we can see a little bit more adaptations about that Dragunov sort of playstyle, or maybe we could see the sort of brutal mechanics that character brings to the table.
Yeah, that matchup with Dragunov is a little worrying because the way Moss plays, or at least what we've seen him play in the past, is very sporadic. And what I mean by that is that he sticks to one idea for that round and he's going to commit to it. And Dragunov is a poke character, and what we mean by poke is like he's fishing for options. He's fishing for you to make a mistake, maybe for you to miss block or for you to do a specific thing, and then he can punish that. And Moss doesn't, at least in the past, does not change his variety too much in how he reacts to different moves. So this whole idea of him sticking to one thing, if the Dragunov can figure that out, there's going to be a lot of problems that come from it.
Yeah, adaptation in fighting games is a godsend. The ability to change your playstyle, not be locked down to any one given strategy, is critical. Obviously, some moves are going to be better than others in any sort of situation,
right?
But that means you can play around it. You still have the other tools in your kit at your disposal to use at any given point. So to figure it out on the fly and find your opportunities to breathe. Keep in mind, Tekken is a very fast-paced game. You don't have the time to breathe. When you're knocked down, you can still get hit. So you have to find your moments to sort of take a deep breath and kind of understand where those mechanics come in. It's a tall ask, but I think it's doable for Moss.
Right, and we talked about these two characters, but we also haven't talked about Moss's character. Moss, I believe, is playing Nina, and that's the only character he is going to play today. He does have a Clive, but it's not ready yet or whatever it is. And Nina is a bit of a complex character. She's not really beginner-friendly, as they like to call it, but she's entirely movement-based. She's very, very quick. She's very agile. She has a bunch of launching capabilities, a lot of combos off of getting the opponent in the air, and also just bringing them to the wall. But on that same line, Brian, which is the third character that we're playing against, does the exact same thing. Speaking on Brian, he is also very wall-based. He wants to get you up against that wall, like Moss was mentioning in the interview. And those two characters, like combating against each other, you can sidestep out of the wall, maybe get the opponent into the wall. There's a lot of interesting interactions that will come from that specific matchup if we see it.
Yeah, a big thing that we've noticed from Moss is that he is perfectly fine playing without the walls. As this semester has gone on, it's become more and more clear to Moss, man, that Nina can have a strong wall game, bringing the character to the wall, but he started this game with the intent of like, I don't like getting near that wall. I don't like the idea of reversal. Let's get a stage that's big and open, and I will just continue spacing you out, which is a real strategy. But in CFGC, I believe it's a random stage select. So the cards may fall into Moss's hand to not have to deal with a Brian Fury just drag across into the wall. Or it could be we're playing on the Mishima Temple, where it has like 4 or 5 destructible walls, and you're just a sitting duck.
Yeah, and with stages too, in previous games there used to be something called infinite stages where there was no wall. And Moss would really enjoy that, but in Tekken 8 we don't have that. We have really long stages, but every single stage has a wall. You're inevitably going to hit that wall at some point. So he has been trying to adapt to that playstyle, becoming more comfortable with this idea of being up against the wall, not getting countered as much, not getting, pushed out of it nearly as much. So a lot of adaptability here to see.
Yeah, well, we do see that we will be hopping into game here in just a minute. It will be the Dragunov up first, which means that we are going to be working with a matchup that I imagine Moss has a lot of experience in, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a one-and-done situation. This player, this character, will have a lot of tools at their disposal, so round number 1, we will begin.
Yeah, and automatically we see that Moss is starting off very aggressive. He loves to do that with the launcher off the rip, but now we have to see how the Dragunov with this Rage Art, what he can do with it.
Yeah, we do see one good heat engage into that grab, so Moss will be sitting down. We did see Dragunov trying to go for it all. That move does a ton of damage, but the Nina grab does go through. One kick to the face will be enough to close out that round, and good thing we're on Season 1. Season 2 of Tekken, you take chip damage on grabs, or grab breaks. This is going to be crazy to see how this sort of adapts later on, but for now, Dragunov is keeping the momentum.
Absolutely, and the big adaptation that we see here right now is that Mossman used to always start with heat immediately. He would go for a heat engage off the rip every single time. Now he's kind of adapted. He's waiting to use it later on as the Dragunov secures that round. But he's waiting a little bit just to kind of feel out what the Dragunov is going to do, and it's a great adaptation for him.
Yeah, we do see a couple of good adaptations. Mossman trying to go for that low to start things off, but not finding the hit, going for the crush, but Dragunov playing it slow. Nina using the foreground to dash around, doing a good job of utilizing the space, and we're playing on one of those stages where the walls are super far away. Dragunov dashes forward, but baits out the Rage Art. It is blocked, and Dragunov, with the grab, will secure another round.
Yeah, that's exactly what the Dragunov wants. He just wants to be able to read exactly what the Nina is going to do, and he just played that beautifully. He is so agile. He has so many moves that come out super, super quick when you're looking at frame data. But right now, it looks like Mossman is on kind of a perfect streak here.
Yeah, going for a really nice grab string and is able to get all the damage and power crushes. We are in round 5 to start things off. Dragunov versus Nina, and Dragunov starts off with a beautiful combo to start things off. Won't do a ton of damage, but Moss is definitely on the back foot.
And Dragunov is pulling Nina towards the wall, but right now she's activating the heat to kind of try and bring it back. A good grab comes out, gets the second one as well. But now we have to see. He is basically out at this rate, so now what can you do with it?
Yeah, Dragunov will get another string here. It won't KO just yet, but Mossman will need to find an opportunity to keep things going. Able to use the heat reactivation to keep the pressure, and does what Dragunov did in the 3rd round, back at him, baiting out the Rage Art to close out the round. Mossman taking the first series.
Really, really stressful series to start. Going into Game 5, now you just have to, as he's doing right now, as you can see, he just has to breathe. Just relax. Now you're going into set 2. This is a long series, a fast game, but it's still very long, you have to endure a lot. So now he just has to mentally reset.
Yeah, that was very much a both players feeling the pressure situation. We saw Moss jumping on the Rage Art opportunity and Dragunov baiting it out, and you would expect the opponent to be ready for that. But when it's round 5, ready or not, you will feel that pressure to just let that Rage Art rip, and it speaks to both players. Some people are very particular with the Rage Art. They don't like going for it unless it's during a combo. If you can get a raw Rage Art, just like throw it out, it deals a ton of damage. It should close out rounds, but it's a matter of, can you implement that the right way.
Yeah, I mean, you just let it rip. Like, I understand it, when you're almost knocked out. At that point, you might as well just send it. If it works, you can start a combo off of it. But now we see that Jin has been swapped in.
Okay, so this will be interesting. I do think that Moss does not enjoy playing against Jins too much. A lot of the Mishimas do tend to just cause problems, and this is part of the reason why. Look how far Mossman was strung off of just one good hit. We're on a pretty wide stage. We're on the stage that Mossman plays the most, and yet even so, he was brought all the way to the wall. Does get a little bit of breathing room, but one good hit into that launcher means that Mossman will lose the first round.
Yeah, the swap up is really scary. It's a Mishima, so you have a lot of different options. You have the crouch dashing and things to pull the Nina all the way up. But now Mossman, feeling kind of comfortable on Seaside Resort, he's able to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, Mossman doing a good job of playing it slow. We see a couple of jabs connect into Mossman, trying to bait Nina to going low. Moss says, all right, I'll go low. Watch this. Lands the grab and gets a good amount of damage. Goes for the low sweep, but Jin does block. Moss feeling the pressure to try and close it out. Goes for the grab. Does get hit by another low from this Jin player. Jin trying to go for it all there. Won't connect, and one quick slap to the face will be able to even out the series.
The grabs are working, man. It looked like Moss was able to grab like 3 or 4 times in a row there. So if you can just continue to do that, maybe play the 50-50 game, it could work really well. But now he's up against the wall. How does he get out?
One good launcher is the answer. Sending Jin flying into the sky and going back towards the other wall. Jin is able to find an opening. One quick flip will keep this combo string rolling. I mean, the pressure is insane. That is effectively a third of the health for each combo, and you are dragging to the wall. But here's the other side of that. A good heat re-engage means that Moss will keep the pressure going. Is up in the corner, will have to find an opportunity to get out, but for now is feeling the pressure. We do see the Rage Hour come out, and it does connect this time around. Jin will take round 3.
Really, really close round there. Mossman was at about 10% health, but he had a lot of gray health, and he activated a heat and immediately got it all back with that huge combo. But the Jin, kind of called the bluff and was like, all right, I'm just going to Rage Art and see if you block it or not, and Nina was unable to.
Yeah, it does seem like the comfortability on Jin is, it's strong. It's been working out so well so far, so we do see Mossman find a couple of openings trying to get into this Jin's head. They've been blocking a lot of the lows throughout this game and could continue doing just that, but instead will eat another launcher and eat another one. We are going into round 5 again.
Yeah, these power crushes from Mossman are absolutely crazy. He's able to string together like 3 or 4 launches off the ground back to back. And here we see that he activate, but nothing can come from it yet as we see a combo start to get strung.
Yeah, we do see Heat reactivated this time around. Jin holding on to his, but sitting with approximately 0 gray health, so won't find any uses for it in that regard, but will be able to use it as a way to potentially get out of this rough situation. A very good grab into the low, will be able to combo, but the Jin drops it. Nina able to dash around. Both players sitting at a distance. Moss going for it all. Does sit still. I don't believe this Rage Art connects. It doesn't. And Mossman will be able to secure another series.
Man, I love that series because in that final round, basically in the last 10 seconds, you saw both players step all the way back to the edges of the map and just take a second. Here we see, again, the Rage Arts. Whoever gets that final block, game 5, it seems like that kind of, dictates who wins. There's a lot of stress going into it with this Rage Art of, oh man, I gotta use it, like I can't lose this round, but you just have to calm down.
Yeah, and calm down is the name of the fighting game. We do see Mossman starting things off with a good grab and trying to go for a bit of a dash attack there, but one quick knee from Jin will keep this pressure going as Moss is going to feel the pressure once again. Again, losing effectively a third of his health, but gets the grab on the Power Crush, which means that it will do just a little bit extra damage. And look at that, Heat Dash into another quick Force Palm-esque move and will be able to secure a round.
Yeah, these Power Crushes do so much damage. Something I want to note about Tekken is that when you see characters bouncing off the ground like that, that's not just them like bouncing because the floor is bouncy or whatever. It's, the character continuing the combo. They're able to string it off the ground, so you can really carry people all the way to the wall, just like Mossman just did, as the Jin is up against the wall, but he's able to grab out of it, it looks like.
Yeah, the Power Crush just barely misses, which means that it will be able to grab. We do see Power Crush again. Mossman sitting on chip health, which means that one good jab will connect and send round 2 the other way.
Man, Mossman really wanted that finisher. He sent 4 Power Crushes in a row, back to back to back to back, and just none of them were able to connect, so a little disappointing there. But again, really, really quick game. You're at full HP again.
Wow, I am shocked that that move beats out the heat. In Mossman, I think feeling the pressure reactivates the heat, does get the hit, does go for a couple more good hits. The heat reactivation from the Jin player will keep the pressure going as 1 more Power Crush, 2 more Power Crushes. Is the end lag enough on this move? No, it is not, which means Moss will get the grab and secure round 3.
You know, I honestly thought with that Power Crush that there would be way more end lag, but clearly not. Mossman kind of allegedly knows what he's doing with this character, I guess. Felt pretty confident sending it there.
Yeah, I think that we're starting to see that level up from Mossman, really getting a feel for what he can get away with and what he needs to offer as sort of respect. As Jin going for another one of those flip moves and trying to get that engage instead, will keep feeling the pressure. A couple of hand slaps into the wall means that Mossman secures the 3rd round or secures the 4th round, the 3rd series in total, and that means that he walks away with the win.
Yeah, he did walk away with the win there. You know, we were expected to go to round 5 again, so we got kind of confused. Maybe, you know, maybe consistency did not pay off there. But yeah, he played really well there. The big thing that I noticed was that he was using his heat really effectively. Before he would use the entire bar, he felt obligated to just, you know, wait it all out. But there he was using a lot of heat activations to keep his combo going. Maybe when he felt like he didn't have the controller to play, you know, as fighting games go, he would activate it just to, you know, use it and then back off. And I felt like that was really good patience from him.
Yeah, giving the opponent the respect they deserve. Understandably just saying, okay, I may not know how to get out of this situation off of the kit that I have on my character, but I do have this one-off heat use, and it can get me out of this sticky situation this one time. I just need to make the most out of it. And Moss did, going from 2 round 5s to now a round 4. We will play out the other series due to CFGC rules, trying to get seeding stuff figured out. But even so, that does mean that Moss does walk away with that win. We'll have the series win going forward. A great place all around, and another character swap.
Yeah, so this character, now we get Clive, which, you know, Mossman is very familiar with. He loves to play this character. We are also pretty familiar with this character on the desk. So as you can see immediately, Clive has a huge sword. He has a lot of range, you know, playing from the medium range style. He can really poke you from really far away, get a lot of chip damage in. But Mossman, feeling comfortable, knows exactly what to do against it.
Yeah, and already we saw a bit of the hand wave from the Clive, trying to get a little bit of bar heat up, but instead will eat a heat reactivation. The floor breaks, and Moss will keep that combo going and secure round 1.
Yeah, when the heat break, or when the floor breaks, it's a free combo extender. Once you get out, you have a lot of, the character gets launched way up in the air, and you just have so much free time to do anything with it.
Yeah, I'm noticing a theme here, Gavin. This Clive player is not going for any crazy combos, and is instead trying to dash around the game plan that this Nina has going on. We're not seeing combos that deal a just metric ton of damage. Instead, here comes one grab from Mossman. The get-up attack into the Power Crush will secure another round, and I think it's just familiarity. We're not seeing those 3rd health combos taken out.
Yeah, and honestly, I respect it from the Clive. You know, at this point, again, like, the series is won for Mossman. Now we're just playing for seeding and tiebreakers and whatnot. But at this point now, if you want to pick up this character, you know, this character plays very different from Dragunov or Jin. You might as well pull it out now. Like, this is a solid opponent. You know, CFGC is a very high-level league. You might as well try it out now and see how it goes. So I respect it.
And we do see the Power Crush there. It is blocked once again. Again, thought that the lag might have been enough, but instead, Mossman, a very swift 3-0 this time around.
Right, very swift indeed. You know, the Rage Art there didn't connect. It was the same thing as in round 3. Mossman just feels very, very comfortable with his Power Crush with the amount of end lag. So he just feels very willing to just, you know, send it and not be punished for it.
Yeah, and already we're seeing Clive throw out a couple of those hand slaps, trying to call out any sort of dash into the foreground or the background, but instead it will send Nina flying into the wall. power. The heat activation will get a little bit of value, but Clive able to find a really flashy move and get a solid chunk of damage in return.
Yeah, but the mission was already succeeded for Mossman. The only thing he wanted there was to get out of the wall, and he did exactly that. But now just couldn't string anything together. It seemed like those lows, Mossman was not expecting them, so the Clive does take away with the round 1.
And already it does seem like there's a level of comfort from this Clive this time around. And we are seeing a couple more combos connect and playing a little bit more aggressive, trying to prevent Mossman from really get a good understanding of what sort of game plan they might be going for. I mean, look at the pressure. Just a couple of good hits and trying to keep it going. But this time around, Nina's moves will be faster at this close range, and you need to respect it, as one heat activation will keep that damage going.
Yeah, Nina is definitely fast indeed. She's very, very agile. She has a lot of capability of getting into the foreground and background, and her grabs also come out incredibly quick, as we see. There's just so much pressure that Nina is able to exhibit if she can get on top of you.
Yeah, and we do see Clive up against the wall. One quick slap to the face, saying, I don't want you anywhere near me this time around. Round 3 begins with a very nice launcher. A couple of good kicks will keep Clive up against the wall, and look at the damage. Look at how Mossman has grown.
Yeah, I mean, Clive had literally no capability to do anything until he was onto the wall, but even still, the combo basically kept going. I swear he just pulled him all the way across the wall and kept going with it. That was beautifully played by Mossman.
And we're still on a stage with the breakable floor. That lightning means that a very light hit will be able to break it and get a good combo going. I'm curious to see if it will be utilized this time around. Mossman going for a quick slide, dash up into the heat activation, but Clive going for the grab. It's a nice breakout and does get a little bit of damage in return.
Yeah, Mossman's looking for a launcher into a slam here to break the floor, but just is unable to find it at this moment. You know, the Clive is able to kind of keep his space, and here we go with the floor slam. Let's see what the Clive can do with the combo.
Yeah, he does miss the initial hit, but does get the activation right after. Mossman able to dash into the foreground, feeling the pressure. A couple of good hits, but there are those slaps. We do see Clive connect the grab, but does get grabbed. Is this grab string going to do enough? Not just yet. One good hit from either side. It's a clank, but Clive walks away with the round win.
Man, let me tell you, Kevin, I absolutely just love Clive as a character. This character is so flashy. He does all these cool moves with the sword swinging around his body and everything. It just looks so amazing to watch. And there, you know, he really kind of clutched up at the end. He was able to predict the grab and not get knocked out from the grab that Moss has so much success on.
Yeah, we do see, I mean, Mossman not very happy to lose that round, is keeping the pressure going and getting a ton of damage, calling out the power crush into the grab. Clive living on a sliver, but dodges into the foreground, and the kicks connect. Mossman going 5-0 to start off the night.
Momentum, momentum, momentum. That is the name of the game now. He's feeling good about himself. He's feeling confident, you know, feeling loose, everything about it. Now, at this point, you just kind of keep the momentum going and you coast through the rest of the games.
Oh yeah, there are a lot of tough opponents in CFGC, like you said. So taking a 5-0 victory is something to be celebrated. And on top of that, it will, the momentum does carry into those next games. I wouldn't be surprised to see Mossman try to play a little bit more aggressive, try to really find openings against these opponents earlier on, rather than this patient game. Just trying to utilize the momentum already. You got to be careful with that mentality, but there is a place for it. Catching your opponent off guard with full momentum and getting in their head right at the start of round 1 is pivotal and can cause a whole slew of other problems going forward.
Yeah, in competitive games, there's this whole idea of arrogance versus confidence, and where do you draw the line? What is different? And what people commonly say is that arrogance is where you have nothing to prove for it. Your confidence is basically like soulless. You have no information behind it. You have no momentum, nothing. But confidence is the complete opposite, where you performed really well, so now you feel like you can do anything. And in fighting games especially, now you're feeling confident. You feel like you can see everything on the map. Like you can predict everything. You feel like all your combos are stringing together. So now Mossman just has to carry it through, carry the momentum through.
Yeah, well, as we hop into round number 1, it is a Lydia this time around. One good grab connects from Mossman. Matchup preference is about a 50-50 either way, and understandably so. This was one of the characters that we said Mossman is not super familiar with, but there's that pressure out the gate. It's already keeping Lydia on the back foot, and will Mossman be able to close the round? There are a lot of tools in Lydia's arsenal right now as those stances come into play. There's heat online and a rage art.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. The Lydia never used heat in that round. She just felt like once she got that combo started, she had no reason to use it. You know, she felt like maybe if I use it, maybe it's going to throw me off the game. And she just kept that combo going the entire time.
Yeah, and we do see Mossman doing a good job, going for that whiff punish right there. Lydia throws out a move, and yeah, Nina was super far away, but I don't care. I am willing to fling myself at you the entire way as we see a strong grab combo deal a ton of damage and even out the rounds.
Yeah, I mean, these grabs, Mossman is just able to win these 50-50s every single time with these grabs. He should really be throwing them out basically on repeat because there's no counter to it right now. The Lydia has no answer to it.
Yeah, I mean, if it works out in your favor, you will get a ton of value. But this Lydia's offense is actually pretty insane. Just look at the value that this Lydia is getting off of just a couple of good hits.
Man, when she gets that first low, it just feels like she can combo immediately off it. Again, with Lydia, you have 4 different stances. So there's a lot of different variants that she can pull out, but she seems very, very comfortable in whatever stance that she's currently in.
Yeah, and we do see one grab connect, getting that guaranteed value. One quick hit trying to call out the roll. It won't work out this time around. Lydia getting a grab in return, going for the heat reactivation. Look at the damage buildup. It's just so much. Lydia going for an extra swing. It won't KO, and that means a very strong rage art is hitting this Lydia.
Yeah, and look at the gray health too. Mossman's about to regen so much health here. That at this point now, Mossman is suddenly in the oh my, and the clash. Mossman does win out there. That was incredibly close.
Yeah, very, very close. We are in round 5 once again. Lydia finding the first hit this time around, using that move to beat out the power crush as Moss trying to use the heat to keep that momentum going, but doesn't have an answer for that move. And the heat on top of the install mechanic of Lydia just keeps the pressure going.
Man, it looks like, I think these are slams that she's using. Whatever it is, it just seems so oppressive. Mossman is really struggling to, find an answer, maybe try and figure out how to block it or how to, whenever he has an opening, it just seems super, super oppressive when Lydia gets the first move.
Yeah, but we do see Mossman in return untouched this time around, using the heat to try and get as much value as possible, but instead will get reversaled up against the wall. Lydia's pressure up against the wall so far has been intense, with those crushing fists dealing so much damage, but there's that grab up against the wall, calling out the roll, does get the hit to connect, and Mossman feeling the pressure once again as Lydia takes the round.
Yeah, once you're up against the wall, everything gets really scary. Mossman has to look for more of these side steps out, but it seems like the Lydia is able to, kind of see it coming, and she responds to it beautifully every single time. Right there again, Mossman, tries to sidestep out, and Lydia calls him out immediately.
Yeah, I mean, we saw another power crush getting broken by that punching move. Incredibly strong, a great tech from the Lydia, keeping herself on her toes, but there's that mix-up game. Look how quickly she strikes and almost resets herself. Able to mix up the highs and lows, it just keeps the pressure going. That was a very swift series.
Right, it just seems like the Lydia has so many different options, and her moves come out way faster. It looks like whatever she's doing with these combos, I'm not entirely sure. It just seems like every single option is coming out faster than Nina, and I'm not sure if that's a matchup difference or what, but it just seems extremely fast from the Lydia.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing from Nina immediately at the gate. Mossman was trying to play it a little bit slower and trying to space out the Lydia instead of trying to fight head on. Once in this spot, though, both players are right next to each other. One quick power crush move from the Lydia means that she will be thrown and have to use the heat, but her heat is broken by Moss's. One quick foot slide into a couple of nice hits means that Lydia will be feeling her pressure, but won't go down just yet.
Yeah, Mossman, once Lydia got up against the wall, chose not to keep engaging, and it got really close there, but he does eventually finish it out with the power crush. But again, that launcher into the launcher again was beautifully played by him.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Look at how Mossman was playing it slow once again, kind of spacing out this Lydia game plan. But once Lydia gets in, that's where it's causing problems, armoring those hits and just continuing that value. 3 more good punches will secure a round for the Lydia, and we will even out this series.
Man, like, these rounds are going so fast. The second the Nina touches the wall, it seems like Lydia knows exactly what to do to knock her out. So Mossman just needs to kind of play in the center, just stay calm, stay relaxed, like stay passive essentially, and try to avoid these walls.
Yeah, Mossman using the heat reactivation, getting a little bit of that gray health back. A couple of good slaps into the low. Goes for a hit on the power crush, going for another low, but it won't connect this time around, and this Lydia has a pretty good track record of winning rounds at this health. So Mossman needs to find an opportunity to close it, otherwise it'll end up this way.
Yeah, the Lydia just has so much patience, and she's so calm about it. There she had the Rage Art. I figured she would have used the Rage Art there, but she just remained calm, kept her combo going, kept the blocks up, and was able to finish the round out. But now Moss got the Lydia up against the wall with the heat art. It's dropped now, but a lot of damage coming out.
Yeah, and a perfect round to even things out. The series going 5-5. I'm expecting Moss to dash back here and give Lydia the room. No, Lydia will take the aggressive time this time around and keep that pressure going.
Yeah, but Moss gets the power crush and now is able to keep going, but gets a whiff punish from the Lydia. Now, how can he continue it?
Yeah, one good couple of hits will keep this combo going. Dragging Lydia all the way to the other side. Lydia going to swing back, which means Moss will get an opportunity to get the damage going. But Lydia does not have the install mechanic online. Instead, will just have a ton of damage. Moss mixing up with the low, but there comes the combo. Mixing up into the low sweep. Will it be able to combo? It will, and that does mean when Wilihelm will be able to win this series 3-0.
Yeah, a little tragic there, but now at this point you still have 2 more games, and now you just have to get anything out of it. You know, try and figure out how to beat the Lydia, take a set off of her. You know, you got 2 rounds that time. I believe in the previous 2 games you got 0 rounds, so there is improvement coming out. Now you need to bring it all together.
Yeah, Moss going for the heats, going for multiple power crushes, just trying to get a little bit of breathing room, just making sure that this Lydia is respecting the game plan. But as of right now, it is not working out this time around. We do see Mossman keeps the pressure going. One quick grab connects. A couple of good kicks into the power crush will secure a round for Mossman. A pretty strong start so far.
You know, and something that we saw in the first series that he hasn't done nearly as much now is with these grabs. I feel like Mossman is not having as many opportunities to pull off these grabs, and when he does, it seems like he wins the round. But the Lydia just does such a good job of calling them out and being on the counter them.
Yeah, Lydia sitting with a lot of gray health, but eating a ton of damage. The heat is sitting low as a quick spit from Nina is going to add just a little bit damage onto that combo.
Yeah, that was kind of a funny way to end the combo here. But now Lydia gets to play the game. She has a lot of gray health, but it looks like Moss was able to get it broken with the low.
Yeah, but there's that combo game off of the low. A crazy combo and able to close out the round with it. I mean, these lows are getting a ton of value, something you don't always see from low moves in Tekken.
Yeah, beautiful combo here. Double launcher into the wall carrier immediately. Now Moss just has to keep her there, keep the combo going, but Lydia is able to roll out of it.
Good heat reactivation will be able to keep the round going. Lydia activating her heat up against the wall, but one quick power crush into the slap across the face means that Mossman will move this to round 4.
Man, I can't tell you what Mossman has learned, but he's clearly learned something, because it looks like the Lydia's having a lot harder time kind of getting Moss up against the wall and keeping him there. Moss is able to roll out a lot more effectively and sometimes even get the Lydia to go back into the wall. So it's really good play, really well played by him.
Yeah, we do see that stance situation. Lydia would have been able to get a really strong hit off of it, but instead Moss using the heat reactivation to keep a bit of distance, going for the slide. Lydia going for the hit, but it does not have enough end lag, which means a couple of good jabs will be able to close out that round.
You know, if you don't play against Lydia as much, like Mossman said, you got to try it at some point. You got to see if you have enough end lag there. Unfortunately, was not able to get it, but now you're in round 5 of this set, so now you have to figure something out.
Yeah, and to figure it out on a very short clock, because this Lydia has Moss's number. One good power crush dash will be able to keep things going, but Moss is feeling the pressure. Does get a good sweep, goes for the heat reactivation, but it won't be enough. A grab on Lydia's heat activation will keep that damage rolling, but both players, the Lydia parry is able to close things out and secure the round, utilizing the install mechanic.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. Again, this is a DLC character, so, you know, has some wacky mechanics involved there. I'm sure that was kind of disheartening for Mossman. Like, you hear a parry, like, what is that? Like, what happened to me, you know?
Yeah, I mean, on top of that, the Lydia hadn't gotten all 3 stacks of their install mechanic in previous rounds. So it's on Moss to kind of keep a track of that, but you aren't expecting it this time around. It does work out as another parry does work this time around. My mistake, it doesn't look like it's tied entirely on the install mechanic. You just have a really nice kick or a really nice way to parry mids. It's crazy that you have that mechanic.
You know, you learn something new every day, apparently. I still don't really comprehend how it works, but it looks really cool when it happens. But Mossman now looks like he has the Rage Art. He's going to use it. Will it connect? It does. He takes round 1.
It was a good call out because this Lydia is very, overly aggressive. It's just a lot of buttons in Moss's face. I'm plus on all of these, or maybe I'm just not minus enough that the moves you're going for will match up, as both players start the round a little slower because of it.
Yeah, both players now, it's like round 5, and now you're just playing slow. You know, they want to secure, like for Lydia, for Wilihelm, you want to secure this 5-0. Mossman, he wants to take at least 1 set off. So playing a little slower, more safe, not being nearly as greedy.
Yeah, Lydia going for a couple of good hits here. Moss looking for the grab. It doesn't connect this time around as both players are playing that block game. Let's be clear. If you don't know what to do, blocking is your best friend. You can get a lot of information that way. Otherwise, you can find yourself in sticky situations like this, and it will lead to Lydia taking a round.
Man, this Lydia has like ice in her veins or something. It seems like every time she gets to 10% HP, she just has this super ability where now she's able to just read everything that Mossman's trying to do, block it all, and keep the combo going.
Yeah, and I mean, a ton of damage built up. There are the connections as Mossman is sitting on very low health with the Rage Art online, does find a good grab, and is trying to space it out once again as he tries to swing or maybe dodge at that last moment, but instead Lydia will connect and find the last hit for the round.
Yeah, now Lydia's up 2-1 in this final set. Now Mossman really wants to take 1 series. He's trying to get a really good combo here with the double launcher already on the wall, but it looks like the Lydia's able to get out, but nothing there. The Moss like didn't even activate Heat that round. Nobody activated Heat. He just kind of carried it on the wall and took him out.
And it was a very nice round, really punishing this Lydia for not blocking low. There's that parry mechanic again. I mean, it blocked out the heat engage. That's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely crazy mechanic that, you know, unfortunately, I don't know much about, so I can't really comment on, but man, it looks really strong here.
And a couple of good jabs into the low. Here comes Lydia, keeping the damage rolling. Rage Art online. Moss has 1 opportunity to equalize things out. Did Moss swing? He did! The Rage Art will connect, and Lydia will find a final hit to close out the round.
Yeah, tough way to lose the final set. You know, now if you're Moss, you just have to forget about it. Like, you looked so good leading up into that Game 5. You know, you took him to Game 5. The last 2 sets in a row just weren't able to close it out. But now, you know, have to relax, have to calm yourself back down. You went from this really, really high to this really low, and now just try and find a middle. Maybe take the next game 3-2. You know, something right in the middle would be nice here.
Oh, yeah. I think that Moss was sitting there and saw the game plan, like mechanics and what he needed to deal with, but Lydia just felt fast. There was something about the character that felt like there wasn't nearly as much thinking time, as much breathing time to really get a good idea of like, oh, I'm going to try to reversal with this. It just didn't work. So with that now, again, looking at the other side of this coin, Mossman started round 1 incredibly aggressive going into the second series, or going into this opponent. The next opponent, I would expect a bit more of a patient game, trying to sit back, relax, because we are dealing with Brian last.
Yep.
And that is a very scary ask. Brian is the kind of character that just punches you in the face and just keeps it going.
Yeah, he just has an infinite punch. He really likes to get you onto the wall, exactly what Mossman is afraid of. So this is kind of a worrying matchup. Also a very poke-heavy character. He likes to fish out, see where you're blocking, if you're blocking low or high or whatever, and just carry you all the way and just keep the combo going. But in that last set, I want to bring up something. Game 1, we saw Jin, you know, and that was a very slow-paced character. It seemed very, very slow. And then Game 2, Moss goes against a Lydia. That's the complete opposite. And that's like the polarity of like your mentality. Like Game 1, you were very used to, you're on the aggression. Like you're the one doing everything. You're initiating all these fights, all these combos and whatever. And then Game 2, the Lydia's doing it. So then you had to like mentally switch, and I just don't think it happened fast enough for him.
And that is understandable. When you're in these sorts of situations, it's just difficult to deal with those sorts of setups. I don't fully understand when, like, the intricacies of, like, trying to go from that fast-paced game plan to the slow one. But, I mean, there's an argument either way, and that's part of competition. You just got to figure it out at some point.
Yeah, you just got to figure it out indeed.
Yeah, well, with all of that being said, we are receiving a word from production that the third match will not be occurring tonight. CFGC is very lenient with its reschedules, and so we will be moving this match this time around to another day. We will keep you posted. I'm sure if it's tomorrow, it may be on the graphic when you watch the Rocket League team compete tomorrow as well. Just keep posted. Follow us on all of our socials. I'm sure you will hear a little bit more information about it then. But until then, my name is Kevin Clayton. I was joined by Gavin Eldridge, and we will see you next time.
Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program,
nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway,
immersive AR and VR learning programs,
cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu/rising.
We have the esports arena right here on campus in Winchester, Virginia, and this facility acts as the hub for all esports activity at Shenandoah University. Students are able to use this space not just for competition and practices, but also as a living learning community and a sandbox for them to come and explore and practice and try out things related to and through esports in the gaming industry so that they're getting that hands-on learning and the skills necessary to help them find a career by the time they graduate. We also have the professional level broadcast production booth where we do all of our broadcasting and production, from casting of our games that we play right here on campus to working with outside entities to record footage for them as well. In addition to the space that we have here in the esports arena is the esports war room. Our students get to use that space for studying, but also outside projects. So our students get to use this space for professional development and the academic side of our esports program, which is such a critical component to go with that competitive element that we have. So we combine all of our facilities at Shenandoah University with competition, community, and career preparation. We have over 250 days of programming, and there's something for everybody, and we want you to be part of it.
Matchups look like for Anina.
Well, Dragunov matchup isn't pretty for anybody. It's very cheesy character, does a lot of really oppressive, always up in your face, a lot of cheesy grabs. As for Brian, I just gotta look out for a lot of. He's really good at carrying characters to walls, so like a lot of his combos, like, and that's exactly where he wants you to be. He'll get you over there, and then he'll just keep poking and prodding at you until you're dead and you're on the wall. As for Lydia, that's a matchup I'm worried about in terms of just knowledge. You don't see a lot of Lydias in CFGC, and I just don't come across a lot of them.
That in this game, and every single character has like 300 plus moves. That's a lot of information to take in. So the more time that you play in this game, you will naturally just get better. Obviously with every game that's true, but even here, like, your knowledge of what the opponent can potentially do or what you can do, what your options are.
Engage into that grab, so Moss will be sitting down. We did see Dragunov trying to go for it all. That move does a ton of damage, but the Nina grab does go through. One kick.
Right now is that Mossman used to always start with heat immediately. He would go for a heat engage off the rip every single time. Now he's kind of adapted. He's waiting to use it later.
Utilizing the space, and we're playing on one of those stages where the walls are super far away. Dragunov dashes forward, but baits out the rage art. It is blocked, and Dragunov
super quick when you're looking at frame data. But right now, it looks like Mossman is on kind of a perfect streak here.
Yeah, going for a really nice grab string and is able to get all the damage, able to use the heat reactivation to keep the pressure, and does what Dragunov did in the third round, back at him, baiting out the rage art to close out the round. Mossman taking the first series.
Really stressful series to start. You know, going into game 5, now you just have to, as he's doing right now, as we can see, he just has to breathe.
Mossman plays the most, and yet even so, he was brought all the way to the wall, does get a little bit of breathing room, but one good hit into that launcher means that Mossman will lose the first round. To try and close it out, goes for the grab, does get hit by another low from this Jin player. Jin trying to go for it all there. Won't connect, and one quick slap to the face will pressure. We do see the Rage Art come out, and it does connect this time around. Jin will take round 3.
Really, really close round there. Mossman was at about 15.
Into this Jin's head. They've been blocking a lot of the lows throughout this game, and could continue doing just that, but instead will eat another launcher, and Jin drops it. Nina able to dash around. Both players sitting at a distance. Moss going for it all. Does sit still. I don't believe this Rage Art connects. It doesn't, and Mossman will be able to secure another, losing effectively a third of his health, but gets the grab on the Power Crush, which means that it will do just a little bit extra damage. And look at that heat dash.
He's able to grab out of it looks like.
Yeah, Power Crush just barely misses, which means that it will be able to grab. We do see Power Crush again. Mossman sitting on chip health, which player will keep the pressure going as one more Power Crush, 2 more Power Crushes. Is the end lag enough on this move? No, it is not, which means Moss will get the grab and secure round as sort of respect. As Jin going for another one of those flip moves and trying to get that engage. Instead, we'll keep feeling the pressure. A couple of hand slaps into the wall. Wave from the Clive, trying to get a little bit of bar heat up, but instead will eat a heat reactivation. The floor breaks, and Moss will keep that combo. That deal just metric ton of damage. Instead, here comes one grab from Mossman. The get up attack into the Power Crush will secure another.
You might as well try it out now and see how it goes. So I respect it.
And we do see the Power Crush there. It is blocked once again. I, again, thought that the lag might have been a flashy move and get a solid chunk of damage in return.
Yeah, but the mission was already succeeded for Mossman. The only thing he wanted there was to get out of the wall, and he did exactly that. But now, different grabs also come out incredibly quick, as we see. There's just so much pressure that Nina is able to exhibit if she can get on top of it.
Yeah, and we do see Clive up against the wall. How Mossman has grown.
Yeah, I mean, Clive had literally no capability to do anything until he was onto the wall, but even still, the combo basically kept
those slaps. We do see Clive connect the grab, but does get grabbed. Is this grab string going to do enough? Not just yet. One good hit from either side. It's a clank, but Clive wants to lose that round. He's keeping the pressure going and getting a ton of damage, calling out the Power Crush into the grab. Clive living on a sliver, but dodges into the foreground, and the kicks connect. Mossman going 5-0 to start off the night.
Momentum. That is the name of the game.
Mossman will be able to close the round. There are a lot of tools in Lydia's arsenal right now as those stances come into play. There's heat online and a Rage Art.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. The Lydia
knows how to move, and yeah, Nina was super far away, but I don't care. I am willing to fling myself at you the entire way as we see a strong grab combo deal a ton of damage. And
counter to it right now, the Lydia has no answer to it.
Yeah, I mean, if it works out in your favor, you will get a ton of value, but this Lydia's offense is actually pretty insane. Just look at the evasion, look at the damage buildup. It's just so much. Lydia going for an extra swing, it won't KO, and that means a very strong Rage Art is hitting this Lydia.
Yeah, and look at the gray health too. Mossman's about to regen so much health here that at this point now, Mossman is suddenly in the
round, using that move to beat out the Power Crush as Moss trying to use the heat to keep that momentum going, but doesn't have an answer for that move. And the heat pressure up against the wall so far has been intense with those crushing fists dealing so much damage. But there's that grab up against the wall.
Everything gets really scary. Mossman has to look for more of these side steps out, but it seems like the Lydia is able to, kind of see it coming, and she responds to it beautifully.
Great tech from the Lydia, keeping herself on her toes, but there's that mix-up game. Look how quickly she strikes and almost resets herself. Able to mix up one quick foot slide into a couple of nice hits means that Lydia will be feeling her pressure, but won't go down just yet.
Yeah, Mossman, once Lydia got up against the wall, chose not to keep
this Lydia game plan, but once Lydia gets in, that's where it's causing problems. Armoring those hits and just continuing that value hit on the Power Crush, going for another low, but it won't connect this time around, and this Lydia has a pretty good track record of winning rounds at this health. So Mossman needs to find an opportunity to
get the blocks up and was able to finish the round out. But now Moss got the Lydia up against the wall with the heat art. It's dropped now, but a lot of damage coming out.
Yeah, and a perfect round. They did not have the install mechanic online. Instead, we'll just have a ton of damage. Moss mixing up with the low, but there comes the combo. Mixing up into the low sweep. Will it be able to combo? It will. As of right now, it is not working out this time around. We do see Mossman keeps the pressure going. One quick grab connects. A couple of good kicks into the power crush.
Combo here, but now Lydia gets to play the game. She has a lot of gray health, but it looks like Moss was able to get it broken with the low.
Yeah, but there's that combo game off of the low. A crazy good heat reactivation will be able to keep the round going. Lydia activating her heat up against the wall, but one quick power crush into the slap. Moss using the heat reactivation to keep a bit of distance, going for the slide. Lydia going for the hit, but it does not have enough end lag, which means a grab on Lydia's heat activation will keep that damage rolling. But both players, the Lydia parry is able to close things out and secure.
Looks like he has the Rage Art. He's going to use it. Will it connect? It does.
And
Takes round one.
It was a good call because this Lydia is very, overly aggressive. It's just a lot of clear. If you don't know what to do, blocking is your best friend. You can get a lot of information that way. Otherwise, you can find yourself in sticky situations like this, and it will lead actions as Mossman is sitting on very low health with the Rage Art online, does find a good grab, and is trying to space it out once again as he tries.
He's trying to get a really good combo here with the double launcher already on the wall, but it looks like the Lydia's able to get out, but nothing there. The Moss didn't even
get the damage rolling. Rage Art online. Moss has one opportunity to equalize things out. Did Moss swing? He did. The Rage Art will connect, and Lydia will find a final hit to close out the round.
Yeah, tough way to lose the final set. You know, now if you're
never mentioned the times you were rude. And I never mentioned when you hid the truth. Scared to lose it all, I will stand a chance. And I don't wanna fake it. What if I can't walk away? Got me saying away, hoping I don't make the same mistake. Same mistake. Hoping I don't make the same mistake. I don't like to leave things unresolved. Maybe it's madness. I'm begging you, please pick up the call.